everyone, Mediocre Mindset coming back with more Conan Exiles Age of Heroes. In our last video, Kiros, the Nornheimer, escaped from the desert thanks to Conan and has now made his way to New River to begin his adventures in the Exiled Lands. We did some exploring of the map, found a few places of interest, learned a new religion, and actually learned how to make some new weapons down here at Skulker's Inn, which I've actually made. I have the Defari Kujal and axe there. I looted a sword from one of the ones I killed, and to make them, it just requires a bit more stone and twine than the club. I think the axe is not even, but an option for stone weapons, and the sword requires a good bit of bone. So, definitely really good to pick up early. Also, we got a couple of pieces of armor, but they're damaged, and since this is something I'm probably not going to use long term, I'm actually going to show off these armor kits I got. With these, you can drag them over. Well, okay, wait, first we got to take this stuff off. You can drag these armor kits onto them, and it will repair them fully. See, now they have full durability. However, it does reduce the amount of durability that they have. So when we put them on, you see there is some red now. That means that it will take less damage to completely destroy it than it would if it was a new piece of armor. But we don't need to worry about that right now. Also, I did manage to build the first bit of my base. I didn't go and gather I just gathered until I got this much done. Definitely don't want to go too crazy just yet with it. I still need to add one more level, but we'll deal with that later when we can gather more material, which is actually what we're going to work on in this video. Since I did get to level 10 through the gathering, we can now finally do some new journeys, particularly blacksmith, which will allow us to get access to iron tools and weapons, and also armor here. But to do that, we have to actually unlock the armor option in knowledge, so we're going to do that first. We come up here, and there's some options here from that Ember Light, which we won't worry about that just yet. But now we're going to do that, and we're going to go to Journey and actually take this one. Now it wants us to skin an animal. Well, unfortunately, I already killed this alligator, or the crocodile that was here. Also, I repaired the bone shield that I got. All I had to do was pickaxe some shellbacks and humans that I fought while I was exploring, and just repaired it up to full, and it's way better than what we had. And now, with this little setup, we actually do a good bit more damage. I have 35, but we're going to need a lot more plant fiber. I should have gathered this before I started the video. I didn't think about it. We'll go ahead and gather up as much as we can. Unfortunately, not getting the plant fiber from the supply materials for the journey kind of sucks. Because, again, you're not really given a good way to gather plant fiber unless you want to go to the sorcerer cave and search the chest there and hope you get a sickle. Or if you want, you can go and do the blacksmithing journey first to get iron tools, and you'll be able to make an iron sickle, which increases the amount of plant fiber we get tremendously. Let's see, how much do I have? I'll get to 100, and then that should be enough for what I want to do. I don't need to skin any more animals because I've already done a bit of that while I was exploring. Alright, that should be enough. Alright, so we're going to head back to our base. And while we're heading back there, actually, let's go ahead and craft all the plant fiber. I had unlocked, also in knowledge, when I was construction, I unlocked how to make stairs and fence maker. That's what I was currently working on. So, fences are neat because if you're in PvP or something like that, enemies will take damage if they try to climb up over those. So now it wants us to craft a armorer's bench, which we need 200 stone, 100 wood, and 25. I'd have just enough stone. Just enough. I have plenty of wood. Let's see, anything else in here? Might as well go ahead and take out all the... And we'll go ahead and put our armorer's bench... right there. And now with that, we can put this stuff in here. And it wants us to create light padding. So to create light padding, you need 26 hide, 5 twine. We'll craft a couple of those. And now I'm going to turn off my... because I do have quite a few of the DLCs. I don't have all of them. But if I turn it to none, this is the only armor that you have available in Conan. All 3 of these, the heavies armor right here, the light armor and medium armor, you know, light, less armor value but more agility. Medium's kind of the mid road between heavy, more protection but you're slower and all that. These all increase carry capacity. This Barakan Reaver armor actually increases health when you make it. So I'm gonna craft boots and the gloves. Even though I'm already... where I actually have light armor, it already considered that I had crafted it. So, and now we can put this on. And like I said, this armor gives us plus 15 to carry capacity, allowing us to carry quite a bit more. So that's awesome. And I'll make the other piece. Well, yeah, let's make the hat or the hat too. We'll keep the other 2 pieces for right now. And we can just go like that. So now that we got some armor, throw that 1 piece of meat in there to cook up. Also, I like that. I think it's Emberlight, or it actually shows all the recipes. I didn't know that you could cook blood to make blood sausage. Never knew that. So that's pretty cool. And now that I think that's all. I still have plenty of wood over here. But now that we got us a good bit of armor with these 3 pieces, I thought I had actually crafted that. We'll be able to hold quite a bit more material, which will come in handy for what we're about to do. Alright. Is the blacksmith journey. These are the first 2 things you should do as soon as you get to level 10. And first thing we gotta do, go to knowledge. You'll be coming here a lot. And you might as well go ahead and unlock a lot of this stuff, like the tanner and the carpenter, and for some reason double clicking ain't working. And I'm gonna go ahead and unlock torch and bed shaper for later. But now it wants us to access or place a furnace. Well, I do not have enough stone, so unfortunately you're going to have to see me gather some. And the stone that's in this area has not respawned. This almost respawned. Sweet. I just need 250. We'll do that for now. I will eventually need more, because I do want to at least have 4 furnaces going. prepping for future bases. Or at least our second base. And we just need one more stone shield. Alright. Access or place a furnace. Come back to our starter base. Still not done with it. Like I said, I need to add one more level. And do a few things. Now, smithing. Take our furnace. And we'll put it here right now. Alright, now it wants us to gather harvest, or gather ironstone. Gather harvest ironstone. We'll put all that up. Let's see, anything else I don't want? No, we're not going to carry the daggers anymore. I'll keep the sword. So, the one good thing about New Rivers, well, there's not a ton of iron nodes. There is plenty to be found if you look for it. We've seen some as we've ran around. As a matter of fact, there's 3 nodes up here where we got the submissive emote. Come grab it, and I believe that one, yeah, see, that big dude back there, that is a corrupted shellback. If we get closer to it, you'll see it have its glowing eyes. That right there would probably kill us if I tried to fight it. But I don't know. I mean, I have this bone shield and the Fari Axe and Cudgel, so we might be able to take it. But this is ironstone. It will usually give you ironstone, possibly stone, maybe coal or crystal. You can there's a rare chance to actually get ironstone from actual stone, but minuscule. But I'm gonna go and show you at least what I like to call my first run. Some of that. You can never have enough healing. But yeah, we're doing a lot more damage with these Defari weapons. And I would skin it, but we're not worried about grabbing that right now. I should keep some octane fuel. Alright, that's another neat thing that they've done. Used to, it wanted you to obtain coal. And coal, while it's not impossible to find, is usually found in harder areas. So, it's nice that they changed that to just any type of fuel, because most people are just going to burn wood or branches. And that just helps out a lot. But if you come up here, there's more coal, or ironstone right here. I'll show you where coal is, because, I mean, it's not that hard to find. If you follow this path, I'm stuck. And where I'm exhausted. Oh, this guy's gonna chase us. Let's get used to that being the norm, because that was gone for a while. And we'll get to test something out, because again, I've never really used the Defari weapons. By the time I do this, I'm already, making iron tools and level 12, and I do have a level 12 weapon that is very awesome. This is the Oasis. It's surrounded by crocodiles. That one right there is corrupted because it is a lot bigger than that one over there. But that one right there is the world boss crocodile. We're not ready to deal with that yet, but we do want this iron here. We only got 78, and it takes 2 iron stone to make 1 iron bar. How many branches do I have? I should have enough to repair this a few times. I think to fully repair it, it would take 4 stone and 4 branches. I'll come over here and grab this one. But usually, I like to come up to this area that I'm going to get all my iron stone. It's a great place to go. If I had the full set of armor, I'd be able to carry more, but we're not too worried about that at the moment. Also, I do forget, I have this lasting feast. It gives me carrying capacity 45. I will be using it once I get up here. And we can test out this cudgel against these enemies that we're going to be dealing with. We will need a lot of ironstone for a lot of our eventual, well, weapons, armor, some of our crafting stations require iron bars, so do need to gather a good bit. Fortunately, my first run just need enough to get everything started. After that, we'll be able to gather a lot more. So, here we go. And right there are rock noses. Wonderful enemy. That is a silver variety, and let's test. I've never used, like I said. Oh. Wow, this cudgel's so good it made it disappear. It did disappear. For some reason it reset. I don't know. Well, we did more damage than we would if we was using a stone club. So. At least, I mean, it is faster. If I was level 12, I would. I'll show it to you. In knowledge and weapons, down here in skirmisher, at level 12, you get to make a javelin. You just need to unlock the iron tools to make it. And it does not need iron to make. It requires, I think, twine, stone, and branches. And it hits as hard as any iron weapon. I think its base damage is 18, which is nuts. I mean, it will kill off these rock noses in 2 or 3, swings or attacks, cycles. Big thing with them though is it is a short spear, so you can only do light attacks with it. If you use the heavy attack, you'll end up throwing it. And you definitely don't want to do that while you're in the middle of battle, throw your weapon. So coming down through here though, but yeah, there's a good bit of iron through here. And there's one more rock nose. Deal with. I just want to try the axe. Nope, the axe does not do more damage. still a pretty slow fight, even when you... Oh, you got a Dafari. He has the bone claws. I've never really made those either. You don't need that chest piece. I won't grab this iron. And then there's a bit more right here. If you want coal, keep going this way. All kinds of coal around this. If you go on that way, there's a bunch of coal down through that way. And this here is the summoning place. This is what I call the capital of the Dafari. It's a pretty dangerous place, especially for our level. We're not quite ready for it. But where that... Oh, right here it is. Where that Dafari come running down, if we come up here, there's a little camp up here. Up there, there's usually... Want to be careful. And trying to get used to this. Oh, and this is a fatality. That's the first one we've done. But we don't want to worry about that. Let's get some food. You always want to try to keep your food up. We also gained a level. And now I'm finally going to put points into Vitality. Every point you put in Vitality gives you 20 points. But we want that, we want that, we want that, we want that. And we want that, we want that, we want that. We'll take the arrows, even though we probably won't use them anytime soon. But yeah, nice little camp here to get some basic stuff. Now, I'm going to show you let me go ahead and repair that. Or is it right here? Oh, the Steel Warblade. There are enemies that can drop steel weapons, particularly Exiles. Most Dafaris don't carry them, but I guess the Emberlight mod gives it. It's pretty much a sword. We'll put it... Actually, let's take off our mask and put our Kujal down here. But, yeah, it's a sword that will do quite... I mean, it's the best weapon we can have. If we want to come over here... Like, we should be able to destroy these ostriches. This thing, yeah. This thing's nuts. And it looks pretty cool too. There's a bunch of iron here. I don't think there's any more in this area, but if we come around. This is also another Dafari camp. Gotta come up there quick. Birds are usually good experience. Animals are always usually better experience than humans. I don't think I need a bone shield.
Come into the light side, Shadow.
Okay.
Empty above.
Ooh. I'm not sure what that does, but that's all. We'll take it for right now. Like I said, I've never messed with Emberlight. And I've heard people say
The empty abodes.
good block. Okay, I want the repair kit. Ooh, we want to grab these. That is a stone spear. I don't know what the Vandy mirror does. Grab it just to check it out later. This guy had a bunch of bone. He has the Fari skin, which is the bottom piece. So this one has thick hide. And this is the actual piece that you're supposed to get, but the Everlight added the bone earrings, which some enemies do wear. And since we cleared this out, we can get this other stuff in. Which we now got enough to make around 150 bars. We have a good bit of room. I'll show you where there's a bunch of it. We won't be able to gather all of it. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and eat our lasting feast. That right there, we was at 89. That dropped us down to 73, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, Everlight adds some pretty interesting things. I think I could be getting ready for my first sandstorm. Yep, there it is. Alright, so sandstorms are pretty dangerous for us right now because we don't really have the health to survive it. We could heal through it with wraps, but that just takes too long. So we've got this awesome thing called a construction hammer. You should always keep your construction hammer with you. And building pieces. Build that. Jump on it. Make sure they're actually walls and not windowed walls. And then put a ceiling on top. And now we're good for a sandstorm. Also, like I said, the improved quality of life count or option gives you the actual time that it takes, or that the food buffs, poison or potion buffs, how long they last. So it's pretty nice. That's why I like that one as far as mods go. Hostiles UI, I love how more detailed it is. Like, you know how many experience points you need to gain your next level. You have a compass. You can know what time it is exactly. You see how much armor and how much reduction you have, your health or not health, but hunger and thirst meters are accurate. You actually know how much percentage you have of carrying capacity, the temperature, how much damage you can do, as like your shelter. So it's pretty nice. I really like it. It also gives you a mini map, so that's definitely worth it. So we just need, okay, now that that's passed, we can just exit, re-get all our stuff, and continue on our way. And I also need to remember that what button pauses videos, because I think the last time I did a video, I stopped it instead of pausing. Anyway, so we come this way, you can see the tail of it. That right there is the King Scorpion. That is another world boss. We are not ready to deal with that yet. We are nowhere ready to deal with that one yet. That is probably the hardest of the world bosses. Crocodile and the spider is probably the easiest. But as we're coming this way, there's some things up here. We should see a campfire. Let's see. Alright, see, that's why I came up here to learn, was the war dance. You have ghosts. Used to, there'd be like a book laying on the ground, or a note, or a bottle, but now they just made it to where you can watch the ghost and learn it. So, that's awesome. And also, I think there's a random chance that a iron pick can pop up right there. So that would have been really nice to find. And this is not the iron I was talking about. We're just going to grab it because it's right here. And drink as a potion. Let's see if see, there it is. I don't think it'll come at me if I... You want to. Yeah, this does a good bit more damage. And it's steel variety, but yeah, the armor on these rockets is so good that even a steel weapon has a hard time, or at least a steel sword. But if we had a steel mace, it... But anyways, in this area, I'll show it on the map here in a second. This area of the map, I mean, it's in F5. All throughout here is tons of iron ore. I mean, there's some over there. You can go up that way and behind that and find some. I mean, we're going to come up here. There's some right there. You climb up there and there's a bunch up there, but there's also a ton of rock noses. Like, we just killed 2 there, and there's several up here, there's a few up there. So, like I said, having a good, like a cudgel, or that level 12 weapon, like I said, it really does really good damage to these things, because it has good armor penetration. If I get to level 12, I might make one. I'll show you. Now, we do want to be careful and hope that none of these are corrupted, because if they are, we wouldn't be able to fight them. We'd have to run. They're just too strong for us right now. Yeah, we're almost there. I would probably drop the stone. There's one more thing. But if you had not messed with your experience games, you would already be level 12 well before you came here. That's definitely a good option Alright, so gain another point. We'll put it in my tally. And we'll come to knowledge, weapons, come down to skirmisher, and oh, okay, wait. First go to survivor, even though we're gonna be unlocking it here soon anyways. Now go to weapons. And now go down to skirmisher. And it only costs 2 points. Not anything I'm worried about. And like I said, it is handmade. And it only costs 5 branches, 2 stone, 2 twine, and has 18 health damage. Let's craft one. And we'll throw it right there. It's a one-hander. Let me test it out here in a second. Go up there. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a great weapon. Just don't use your heavy attack with it. And you don't really need to with these rock thralls because... Rock thralls. Rock noses, oh my gosh. Yeah, it'll be more than enough to take them down. Like I said, I mean, I haven't even shown you all the iron. Look, there's a bunch of it there, a bunch of it up there. I mean, this is the area to gather ironstone. At some point, you'll probably want to bring either a thrall or a pet that has a bunch of spaces because they don't get affected by carrying capacity. And you'll be able to gather thousands, especially once you get to like steel, hardened steel tools. This, and I'll run up there and show you what this thing can do. That broke. Keep going. That. Keep getting plenty of it. Oh, I guess I must have threw it away before it used all of it. We'll try to make these an hour long. One right there. So let's see. Yeah. I mean, this thing does just as good as the steel sword that we're using, and doesn't even do half the damage. Or, like I said, the attack is a little weird. Takes a little bit getting used to. But if I hadn't have found that, this was definitely a good find. So, and it has really good. Okay, get away from that. That's one thing that can happen when fighting rock noses, especially if you fight molten, is you get stuck in them and then they will just end you. There we go. Look at that. I mean, this is an amazing weapon for early game. So, and it's easy to make. You can handcraft it with just a little bit of plant fiber, branches, and stone. So, and it'll be as good as any iron weapon you can make in the game. So, I don't know why they haven't fixed it, but I'm not complaining. Probably close to running out of carrying capacity. many branches? I'm sure there's some laying around up here. And then we'll drop that and try to get a little bit more iron. I think that'll do it. Alright, we'll call it there. But yeah, this is the best place, I think, to get iron. I think it's the best place in the whole game. Sepamaru, which is over here, has a lot of iron around it, but it's really spread out, and I feel like you have to travel a lot further than you do here. This is just one really big bunched up area. But yeah, again, level 12, unlock this thing, and you will have no problem killing rock noses. I would break it, but I'm at 99. Actually, let's drink some water. Some food. So, definitely a good little run. We ended with what? Almost 1,000? That'll be over 450 iron bars when it gets done. There's another camp right there. I think there's a piece of lore in there, but we won't mess with that camp just yet. We'll head there in a future video when we're doing some more exploring. We'll go back to using this. This is a good little find. Like, Emberlight did add some really interesting things. I've not messed with it too much, but I like this sword. I like the design of it. I think they have a two-handed sword in there that looks pretty cool as well. Just gonna head back to base. Should really be killing anything along the way that we can kill. Like this guy. A little bit of experience there. I know I'm heartless. I feel like I'm wasting that, but I can't really carry anything else. And I'm gonna have to get used to this. I'm gonna have to remember, let off before you run out of stamina. So because it takes longer to come back or get your stamina back if you let it get you down into the gray like that. We want to be careful. We don't want to get the world boss's attention, because again, we are not ready to beat that. And I think this crocodile has switched, or it's no longer. Well, it's just a regular one. But, yeah, look how much damage we can do to those things now. We probably could handle some corrupted enemies now with this sucker in hand. Oh, I was hoping it'd be... Okay. Jack me up. Alright. Base. I'll probably pause the video to let the iron bars craft. I do have it sped up a little bit, not much. I think it's at 1. It was at 1. I think I got it down to 0.75 because I do want to keep it close to Conan as far as positive things. But again, like I said, I do want to make it to where I can at least do these a little quickly. Come in here. Put our iron ore in there. Change it to type because that's what I like. Let me grab some more wood. And we'll start it up. And like I said, we're going to get 468 bars out of what we got. It'll take a little bit, probably about 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to pause, and when we come back, we'll finish up blacksmithing. So see you in a little bit. And we're back. And I was thinking, I went ahead and made the rest of the armor so I could carry more, have more carry weight. I made a second furnace to split the iron ore that I had and have both cooking. But I thought, while I'm waiting, why don't I do the Tanner journey? So again, with Tanner, first thing it wants you to do is have you skin a corpse. I already killed the crocodile that is in this area, so we're going to run over here, and there's a shellback right there we can take care of. Tanning is what is necessary to start working towards medium and heavy armor. And where did it go? Oh, it is gliding around. So, we'll kill it. And now it wants us to collect bark, and to do that, you need to hit a tree with a pickaxe. Eventually, we'll get... Well, not a pickaxe. This is just a mining pick. So, or a stone pick, yeah. We get pickaxes later that will allow you to gather all the resources from a tree. It would be wood, branches, bark, and resin with it. So that'll be pretty handy. Right now, the stone pickaxe only gives you bark. It won't give you the resin that iron pickaxes and up will give you. So, nothing to worry about. We do need a good bit of bark, though, because you need so much to make your tanning bed or your tannery station, and then to fuel it. Also, while I was waiting, I did gather up some stone and wood. Take out that should be good. Grab these last two. But yeah, definitely, if you're going to be gathering, having a set of light armor is really good for early game and doing that because it gives you a bunch of carrying capacity. Like, I mean, look how much I have, and I'm still at only 88%. I still have the carry weight buff too, so I'd say if it wasn't for the carry weight, I'd probably be closer to 99 or 100. Anyways, now it wants us to craft a tannery. I always like to keep my armor and tannery close. I also like that it used to, you could not get this one that close to a wall or edge. I'm glad that they fixed that. So, come in, type, put our bark in, put in some hide, and click on it. I think it takes 3 pieces of hide to make 1 leather. I do like, again, I don't know what recipe or what mod lets me see what everything you can put in here. but that's pretty cool. You put heads in there to get leather. Three hide. So, anyways, it wants us to get the leather out, so we'll do that. Let's put it back. And then it wants us to craft a tanner's table, which is an amazing item. So we'll just put it right here next to our bench, because now we have the ability to do all kinds of things. Like particularly we can put all our plant fiber that we gather, throw it in here, and actually let it make our twine for us. We can also throw different hides in here and strip it, which is something you want to do before you put it into a tannery. So I've got 21 and 12, so I think it's 2. So each P2 will give us 3 hide. So definitely good, because that gets us towards making better armor. And I forgot to claim everything. Repair kits, we get 5 armor repair kits from that. And from this, we get an improved tanner's table, which we won't make right now because it's really big. We'll wait till we get a much bigger base. So now with that, we'll come back and finish up blacksmith. We should have more than enough iron bars between the two. Yeah, see, this one has 118. This one has 153. Yeah, we got more than enough. Now it wants us to build a blacksmith bench. That right there costs 250 stone and 50 iron ore. I'm going to put it back it up. There we go. We'll put it there. And then it wants us to craft something. I think it wants us to craft an iron pick. That 5 branches, 30 iron bars. Take that, and we should be done. Used to, the blacksmith journey wanted you to craft an iron weapon, but now it no longer wants you to do that. If we claim our reward, I think we get 1 weapon repair kit. We gained a level, so we'll put that into our vitality. And now we're going to be able to craft all kinds of iron tools things. Now I want to go ahead and craft the hatchet, and we can get rid of that. Get rid of that. We'll keep the stone because I don't think I can learn butcher yet. So nope, we need to be level 15 for that. So that's all right. But now we get iron. I'll start doubling that. Iron hatchet and iron sickle. As far as weapons go, I think we can make only, you can learn iron broadsword, flanged mace, iron, that's a emberlight option. And then iron short sword, we learned at level 12. We can learn those. Let's see, can we learn anything? Can't learn how to make that. That's, well, that's 20, dang. Can you make any two-handed weapon yet? That requires 15. Can we make, we can actually make iron daggers at 13 and iron punching daggers. And then we haven't learned any bows yet. We did learn iron arrows if we want. If you haven't got any of the DLCs, you would have to learn those, but I do have some of the DLCs, like I said. I have the one that gives me Argosian, Bloodletter. We're not going to click on that or that. Nemedian. On the Iron Door, that's I think a short spear that they allow you to make. Pictish and Yamata. If you ever do want to get one of the DLCs, get the one that gives you the Nemedians, because you get a huge variety of weapons with it. So I'm going to unlock all these. Usually it just already does it, but I don't know why it doesn't do it now. But see, like you get tons of options with the Nemedian. You also get some really good building options. And these weapons are probably just, like I said, these are, but I don't tell you how good these weapons are. And here, you'd have to unlock it. But yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Or heck, you can download these mods and get weapons like this. But now, I would show off how much more hide you get, but we don't have that one yet. Anyways, now that we have a sickle, we get so much plant fiber. And we'll get so much aloe leaves, like way more. And this is huge. Because we're going to need a lot of twine. Twine is important throughout most of the game. It's crazy how a basic item goes so long. But now, you know how he's only getting like 4 to 6? I think now we get like 9, 8 to 10. So, much better. Oh yeah. So, our gathering will improve. So that's it for there. We've completed a lot of things. We got us another repair kit, which I'll put up. I don't want to use those right now. I'll use the stone ones. I'll discuss why I like these later. But anyways, I think that's enough for now. When we come back, we can start working on getting friends of both the human and animal variety. So, thank you for watching. This is Mediocre Mindset saying have a good day, and we'll see you next time.